Oh, it's really close. That's super close. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like your perfect drive right there. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. We've not had a real live golfer with us in the studio.
No.
Today we have a friend.
VIP.
A VIP.
The best
A team member.
That's right.
A member of the Club Champion Media team. The head honcho, Mr. Jonah Trenbach.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to it today.
Nice to see you. We had a little sort of planning meeting for the back half of the year's marketing, and when we were sitting there, we were talking about planning the fitting videos and all the reviews we've got coming. You kind of had the hand up going, boys, I need a driver. I could be a guinea pig for one of these videos, so here we are, perfect.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, it's been, I think I've had this one for 6 years, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's out there.
This was fitted in our very first TXG studio, wasn't it?
By a good guy.
It was by Mike, yeah. Okay, we'll debate on the good guy part.
No, it was good. What is it, TS2?
Yeah, Titleist TS2, VA Ryzen Black. A combination that kind of almost is a bit, it's not contradictory, but some might think it's contradictory in the sense of you've got TS2 that's a bit launchy, a bit spinny. And then you've got a shaft that's Ryzen Black is very stout. But you'll see why, because Jonah, you know, you're a heavy loader in your swing. You change transition really, really quickly. We've had the pleasure of seeing it in action fairly recently. We played golf not that long ago, and yeah, just a stripe show.
I mean, it's a Club Champion winning driver. That's all I can say. I'm going to take credit for it. All 100% of it.
Shocker, eh? Some things never change, Jonah. Tell us a little bit about it, and what do you feel like we could do for you today to help?
Yeah, I kind of need two things. So yeah, the transition is fast, but I need to get the ball in the air.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, finding the good median there. I think the big thing is finding the fairway. You know, that's what probably the strongest part of my game.
Yeah.
But I want to see what else I can get out of it. You know, what else is there. I don't play as much golf anymore. It's been a long time since we were, you know, last in the fitting bay. And I just want to see what I can do to compete with the guys I play with on a regular basis, and you know, maybe see if there's a little bit more in it today as well, of course.
I mean, you would hope so, wouldn't you? I mean, the time has passed, 6 years. That's about the window at which we say to people that you really ought to be looking at your equipment. You need to be sort of looking and exploring what's out there. Yeah, TS2 was a great line. The Speed series by Titleist was their journey into sort of, I would say, developing themselves into market leaders in the metal wood category, into where they are today. So really, really keen to see if how this stacks up to GT and others.
Totally,
of the current
absolutely.
line. All right, let's grab some baseliners, Jonah. Let's see what's going on.
That's good.
That's a lovely swing. You started every day in the golf course with that ball flight, you'd be sure to have a good day.
No kidding.
It's lovely. But to your point, Jonah, about the spin, I mean, you've accessed the upper part of the head there, 11 high, and you're still in a little bit dicey territory with spin. So if that strike strays low and particularly heely, we might see that climb a touch.
Okay.
Such a safe flight.
Sell that ball flight for a few bucks, Jonah boy. So people will be looking at going, well, a little bit down on the angle of attack and kind of squeezes it a touch. Yeah, that's how a lot of players efficiently drive the golf ball.
Yeah.
You know, we know the benefits of hitting up on it and what that means from a distance perspective with high launch and low spin, but there's a reason until recently, really the pre-launch monitor era, lots of players on that TrackMan optimized chart, they said that the best players in the world were about a degree down on it.
Okay.
So not surprised to see about a degree down on some of them, Jonah.
Yeah, I tried 10 years ago when I had access to a TrackMan to get up. The whole game went up, which wasn't good.
Well, there's 13 clubs that swing works great for, and one that it maybe isn't quite as optimal for. Well, that's okay, isn't it? I mean, if you drive it straight as this, that is absolutely okay. The one thing I will say is the ball flight is kind of hanging by a thread. in that it takes the strike to be in this upper toe quadrant to be good. If it strays diagonally down into this lower heel quadrant, it will all kind of unravel a little bit. Let's see 2 or 3 more and see if we can sort of, if that pops up. Touch more spinny there, Jonah.
That felt lower.
Yeah. Actually sounded good. I thought it sounded, I mean, it was
right at the center.
It was hit the button, but there's a little bit of the vulnerability. You did stray down and towards the heel. It wasn't in the heel, but that's where the spin obviously kicked up. Okay, one more and then we'll take a little look at it. And that one's just stalling, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't really have the extra gear.
Yeah.
Again, safe, but we could still keep something safe and get it going a bit longer.
You wouldn't want to hit that into a headwind.
No.
Is that a bit of a struggle at times if you get into the wind a touch?
I just realized when you were talking about it, I do subconsciously line the ball up off the toe.
Right.
So, maybe I've just consciously realized that.
You know that's a bit of a safety net for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got one that snuck a bit to the right. But if we look at the flight, averaging 153 ball, 12.5 launch, 3,500. Even the best ones were sort of about 2,800. Yeah. So there's definitely a bit of wiggle room to get these numbers in a slightly different spot. Angle of attack, averaging 0. Yep. Path is a little bit left. Totally fine. Strike is in a good spot, averaging out. Okay, good. There's some gains to be had, but I think the bigger thing is just shifting that back over just a little bit, Jonah. All right, let's build some options for you to try.
Do it.
All right, Jonah, we're going to explore a few different things, just some different heads. We've got, kind of almost at this point, we've got kind of one from everyone, and then we'll start to whittle it down and start to kind of dial in what we want. I think from a shaft standpoint, probably soften things up a hair for you. I think that Rising Black is a serious loader shaft, and I think that's where the strike will dance around the head a touch. So I think if you feel like the head's squaring up a little bit more easily, I think that could really help. So start with QI 10, 9 degree, turn to 10.5, Diamana TB 60 stiff.
Let's do it.
Okay, that's plenty of that one. I think anytime though you see that you've got that 4,300 spin, there's a good one there at 4,000 spin. So a really interesting one on that last one. Ball speed jumped to 159. Yeah, big, yeah. We've known each other for a long, long time. I don't know if I've ever seen you touch kind of like in that 160 ball speed territory, especially not when the driver's not even dialed in for you yet.
Yeah. So
really encouraging. QI 10 LS is a great head also. We may want to revisit that one, but your dynamical angle, I don't want it sitting too toe up. So maybe the flatter angle of LS at some point, we might look at that, the 8 turned up a wee bit. But we're going to go to GT3 with the VF6S and the H2 weight position, okay.
Flatter?
Yeah, definitely flatter. Got up nice and early too.
That was a mishit. It felt toey weird, eh?
Did it?
Felt really toey.
Base open and the spin only stayed at 21.
Can't close it. Feels very solid.
Yeah, it's got a great sound to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Give me one more with this one, Jonah, and then we'll kind of have a look at how the numbers are shaping out, and we'll kind of pick the kind of key points that are still stopping us from being in the right spot.
Okay.
How does this shaft feel?
Feels more stable. I feel like I can't close the face.
Can't quite shut it. Yeah, face just wants to stay
Stays
open.
out there.
Yeah, it kind of almost sounded a little more high toe, that one. And it kind of needed to be in that high toe to kind of keep it online. There's the pickup in distance that we knew we could get you today. We're not there yet, certainly, because I think there's more speed to be had, showing that, you know, that QI10 was really quick when you caught it. But 12.5 launch and 2600 spin is averaging out to basically your form or total is now where your carry is, which is really, really good. So there is 20 yards for you, at least, maybe more, which is, yeah, it's what we want to see. Okay, let's see if we can get you more feel out the shaft. Okay, Jonah, we've went to the 8-degree head in order to give ourselves some loft that we can, you know, use for a bit of face closure. So we're in the GT3 still, because I loved how tight that launch and spin window was. Softened the shaft up a little bit, went from Graphic Design VF to Tensei 1K. I want to see if 50 feels like you can get a bit more closure, but let's hit a couple of this one, see what we get. A bullet, Jonah.
That feels like an old ball flight I once had.
Yeah, maybe we want to go, we're in sort of GT3, 8-degree D3 setting, so loft up 0.75, so it's playing 8.75 and a little bit upright as well. Just trying to hold that flight down the left side. We may want to add a touch more loft, put you up into the A3 setting that just is the most closed setting, which it looks good for your flight. Well, let's just do that. I think we're going to need to probably be in there anyway.
That's in D3 right now?
That's in D3. Different.
That closed.
So that driver can do that. Good to
See,
know.
Michael?
Noted.
That'll encourage you.
And it can go 296. Noted.
Wow.
I haven't hit a ball that far in 10 years.
Good spin, 2300.
Good to see flight came up a little bit there, straightens it out really, really nicely. look at that. I thought that was actually a joke there at one point. So two balls hit, standard deviation, 5.
Obviously softer and lighter than what you currently use. Does it feel crazy difference, or you like the feel of it?
I like it. I don't know what the swing weight is, but I feel like I can still feel the head.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. It feels good.
Listen, I'll sell you this one.
For a lot of people looking at this, Jonah, they'd be like, that's too low. You said something there about, I love it when it comes out like hot like that. That's important to note, guys. Not every fitting has to conform to some kind of optimizer chart. You know, there's fully some license for the player to get what they want out of it. And if you like a lower flight like Jonah does, I mean, you're still carrying it 265, even though it's at 66.5 feet. That's absolutely okay.
I think people get hung up on the 12.5 launch and 2200 spin.
Everyone has to look like that.
Who cares?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Okay, couple more. This looks really close though. Okay, so still got a little bit of that right one in it. So the good is really good. The miss is still a wee bit too much in there. All right, Jonah, when GT3 was good, it was perfect. I still had a bit of a right miss in there though for you. We saw a little bit of that at the end, so we want to try to see if we can eliminate that for you. Your driver has to be what it has always been, which is your safety club. Something you can hit really, really well. I'd rather it went 285 than 295 if it found the fairway most of the time, which I think this might do for you. So let's take a look at this. Callaway AI Smoke Max D. Diamana Whiteboard 53 stiff. Back up a little bit.
Sounded like a good strike. Spin up a bit. Yeah, that GT3 was good.
All right, Jonah, let's see if some ping stability can help just bring this in a wee bit. I think we're seeing some good things. I still think we're maybe thinking that the GT3 is still the one to beat. You know, we do obviously take ownership of, you know, some of those misses and you know, time to time we're going to miss some shots. but that one just seemed to give you some really, really good performance. So let's hit a couple with the LST with Ventus Blue 5S.
Felt weird.
Yeah, it did. It came out really weird.
Definitely low.
No bueno.
No, sorry. What's that old TaylorMade driver back in the day?
Burner?
Yes, the super fast. Yeah, yeah.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It does. It does. This one just is, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those drivers, if you hit it well, it almost can't be beaten.
Yeah.
And if you struggle with it and maybe the strike's moving around a little bit, it might not give you all the forgiveness that some of the others will. Let's have a crack though. I think this is going to be quick, this one.
Yeah. LS 8 degree, DI 6S.
Oh, I like that. I like the tightness of that start and fall line. Sounding driver, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was better.
Wants to start a bit more left, doesn't it?
That feel, that DI.
Speeds up.
Deep impact, Jonah. You can just feel it. This is pretty good. So we're kind of in between these two right now. Obviously, we had a couple of shots with the GT3 that we've taken out just to kind of show us. I think this is still benchmark performance. But let's hit a couple with this Cobra. This is hanging in really, really well.
Out the bottom.
Okay. All right, let's go back around. Yeah, GT3.
Swing weight on this thing's D3 and D3.6.
Is it? I like that. I like the feel of it.
Okay, Jonah, we're just going to switch out that one. Going to give you just a little bit more loft.
Okay.
Let's see how this is. Back up in loft, 9 degrees, Jonah. H2 still in the setting. Just want to keep a little dynamic lie angle, Mikey. It's coming in a bit toe up.
Yeah.
It's exposing a lot of the sole for Jonah. Let's see how this is.
Sounded good.
That sounds good.
Probably hit the face that time.
Okay. Oh, it's really close. That's super close. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like your perfect drive right there.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
I feel like I can deliver that.
You look like you're
feel it.
timing this one really nicely. Like the release, you know, everything's just all synced up with this one. Yeah, you've added a little bit of ball speed here. Almost identical numbers, but just you're consistent with the numbers on this one. Whereas you had that right miss with the 8-degree head that I really didn't love. Okay, give me 2 more with this one, and then we're going to try the 8-degree head in a different setting.
Okay.
With this shaft.
So that's the miss, I would say.
Yeah. Still 270 now.
Yeah. And it wants to start left.
3500 spin at 161 ball. Look at the protection of the ball speed.
Wow.
think that's got to be 5 or 6 more than you were seeing early on.
Yeah.
Like that felt like it was off the bottom of the club.
Yeah. All right, Jonah, I think we were really close with that last one. It definitely is. That's where I love to see you kind of flighting it like that. Nice and quick. Launch and spin a really good window. I just want to give this 8 degree one more chance. Face a bit more closed. See if I can take out that right miss a little bit.
Let's do it. Like that felt terrible swing-wise.
Yeah, and the low one spun at 29.
Yeah.
That sounded good.
I think that swing with the 9 degree head is a world-class
Yeah,
drive.
because that's at 10 launch at 1900. It's
totally.
just a little bit better.
That's all.
One more?
Yeah, one more. Okay, let's put it back. Back. Good. I'm glad we done that because it kind of we did see some really good numbers with that that 8 degrees. So I think sometimes you have that question mark in your head unless you shut that door. So I think we have closed it. The 9 degrees is the right one.
I like to see the loft too. I think that's helpful.
And GT3 over GT2, Jonah, because I want to utilize the weight track. GT2 would have definitely been a viable option, but I think having the weight in H2, when you do straight into the heel, it supports the strike. It doesn't expose the strike. With a centered CG, you're going to see that cut more and lose more distance. I think in H2, I think you get way more protection. And again, guys, that's for a lot of you watching too, asking that same question. Why aren't they trying GT2, using TS2? It's purely for strike support. Yeah. Something that I hope, you know, Titleist can maybe embark on down the road is some of these bigger heads having the SureFit track on there as well, because I know for one as a fitter, I would get people into a lot more GT2s and things like that if the track was accessible. So that is why. Yeah, that's that one that tumbled a little bit for you, but you've got the launch with it now. So spin's definitely down there. You get the chase out of almost 290, Jonah, but you get 11 degrees of launch out it in 2100. Yeah. You didn't quite get all of the ball speed in it, which is totally fine, but you get great launch numbers out of it.
And nice to see this one be able to start a bit left.
Yeah, that's Jonah's flight in a nutshell right there, isn't it? It's exactly the first one he started with, actually, about 15 yards right. But this is the launch and spin that are so good now. A bullet, a 159 bullet to sign us off, Jonah. Really good, really good. I'm excited for you to get this on the golf course. I think this is that little gear that you probably felt like you had been missing since technology had probably moved on. And 6 years in you know, your life, everything's changed for you. You were playing a lot of golf 6 years ago, company, business, different stuff. So really, really excited to see you get those numbers out.
Yeah, I mean, comfortable 5 mile an hour pickup in ball speed with the driver from what we started with. So, I mean, just that alone is worth it.
Yeah, agreed. I think the two things for me is like look and feel are really important. And I could feel the club through the swing, and I like the way it looks at address.
If we take you back, like to Mikey's point about a nice pickup, so we picked up 5 miles an hour ball speed. Launch angles came flat, or spinners came down 900. Carry distance is picked up by about 14 yards, and in total is estimated at around 20.
And still able to hit that, you know, protected cut. It's not like we've changed your ball flight or anything like that, which is nice.
Face angle is actually easier to get this one shut, which is good. That matches your path a little bit better. It will always increase ball speed as we go.
It's good. It's
really good driving from a really good driver of the golf ball. That's the good thing. That's your strength, Jonah. It's your real strength of your game. So for the driver to get better, it's going to just add even more.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I think that's a big thing too.
That's a big part of it, without a doubt. Awesome. Okay, guys. I think a very relatable test in the sense of Jonah has a real safety sort of ball flight, a ball flight that he knows he can get in play, but would like a little bit more out of it. It's always like whatever we don't have, we want. whether it's you get ball in the fairway, you want more distance. You've got loads of distance. I just want to find more fairways, though. We're all the same way, aren't we? So I'm glad we were able to sort of max out Jonah's potential of his speed. Take the launch conditions or the delivery conditions of being a little bit down on it from time to time, and get a little bit more out of that delivery, which I think would benefit loads of you guys too in the fitting bay.
Yeah, good fit.
Good stuff. All right, let us know what your thoughts are, guys. I think it's always an interesting one when we do fittings to hear you all debate and talk about all the things that you guys think, you know, we should have done, or which is fine. You know, it's always interesting to read them, and everyone would do things slightly differently. But I think we round the full plethora of options in here, and I'm pretty comfortable with the one we came out with. I agree. It's going to be good. Excellent. All right, stay tuned for more, and we'll see you again soon.